Well, good Monday morning. We begin with breaking news this morning. An alert just moments ago from Garland Police. An officer was shot earlier this morning and is stable right now. Soon, Irving Police will have an update for us on his condition. And Lauren Crawford is actually live on the scene following this developing situation.
And let's actually dip in live right now to this conversation as they give us an update.
Okay. My name is Lieutenant Pedro Barineau. That's B as in boy, A-R-I-N-E-A-U. I'm a lieutenant with the Garland Police Department. So this morning, or late last night, just after midnight, we received calls from residents in the 100 block of West Wanda stating that there was a male subject in the street firing weapons. When our first responding officer arrived in his marked squad car, he was immediately met with gunfire from the suspect. While he was in the vehicle, this vehicle sustained gunshot, as well as he himself was shot in the vehicle. That officer was able to retreat and get to a safe location where he was transported to the hospital, and he is currently in stable condition. Additional officers responded to the scene and ultimately encountered the suspect near a house in the 100 block of West Wanda Drive, where he was shot by officers. The suspect was transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Understand this is a very active and fluid investigation. There's a lot of details that we're still trying to uncover. The investigation started in one location, went through different other locations, but ultimately ended up on West Wanda. So there's some things that I may not be able to discuss at this point in time because those details are still underway. This is a very tragic situation where an officer was shot. We believe this to be a very isolated situation where the suspect targeted the officers, and there's no further threat to the public. These investigations are very fluid. We work with our detectives as well as our professional standards units, as well as Dallas County District Attorney's Office in these investigations whenever there's an officer-involved shooting investigation. With that, I'll take some questions. Say that again. So the details are still under investigation. What we do know is that when the officer arrived in his marked squad car, he was immediately met with gunfire from the suspect. So it's very possible that was the situation. However, it's still an active investigation, and we're still trying to determine the motive behind the shooting.
Did the suspect live around here?
I don't have the details on the suspect at this point in time. I just know that the call came out in the 100 block of West Wanda, where the officer was shot and ultimately where the suspect was shot.
Was there anyone else injured around the scene, or was it just between the suspect and the officer initially?
Based on the investigation where we are right now, there are no injuries reported other than the one officer who was shot. It's unfortunate. You know, as police officers, we understand the risks involved, but we ultimately join the police force to make a difference in our community, to serve and protect. We understand the risks associated, and we're very grateful that this officer is in stable condition as we speak.
This is a large area. Was there a foot chase at any point?
So the details of the investigation, unfortunately, I'm not able to get into the specifics yet because there's a lot of fluid activity. However, we are determining exactly what led to the shooting itself, the motives behind the suspect, and ultimately why this officer was shot.
And when the backup arrived, was there further gunshots at that point between the suspect and his backup?
So there was multiple gunshots fired between officers and the suspect. And so the details as to the location, as to where they all occurred, are still under investigation. However, ultimately, the suspect was encountered near a residence in the 100 block of West Wanda where he was shot by officers.
Officer who was injured, did he arrive by himself alone in his squad car? There was no partner with him?
Yeah, so when we get dispatched to these types of calls, an officer will arrive, and he was the first responding officer. And my understanding, he was the first alone at the time that he arrived, and he received gunfire.